Ladies and gentlemen, it's Brendan O'Connell, the Bell Tower Boy, live from Kuala Lumpur. It's the good old days with my cameraman, Mr. Yannick. From the good old days, you remember Israel's secret weapon, the Talpiot program. Finally, my cameraman is back. He's alive and well. He was not kidnapped and taken to Syria. I'm out the front of the Petronas Twin Towers again. It's, of course, nighttime in Kuala Lumpur. It's Sunday, the 7th of October, 2018. A quick comment about Malaysia. Something very big is happening. Tun, or Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, the 93-year-old record holder for the oldest politician in the world. A man who is not known to mince his words about Israel. Let's cut right now to some of Tun being a mark of respect in the Malaysian language, Tun talking about his favourite country, Israel.
In a speech in 2003, you said, quote, "The Jews rule the world by proxy. They get others to fight and die for them." In 2012, you wrote you were glad to be labelled anti-Semitic and that sympathy with Jewish victims of the Holocaust was wasted and misplaced. Isn't it the case that your political legacy, your accomplishments, will forever be tainted until you apologise and withdraw such anti-Semitic remarks?
No. I believe I'm speaking the truth. You look at America, it is totally dedicated to supporting Israel even when Israel commits international crime. In fact, candidates for election need to inform the Jewish lobby that they are supporting Israel.
Why are you conflating Israel with all Jews? Why are you conflating Israel with all Jews? All Jews are not responsible for Israel.
Why not?
So then should all Muslims be conflated with ISIL?
In America, American Jews mostly support Israel.
Mahathir Mohamad, should all Muslims be conflated with ISIL then? If everyone is collectively held responsible for the actions of people in their faith?
No, it shouldn't, because if we are not working in that direction. What I said was that the Jews are ruling the world by proxy.
That's an outrageous claim with no evidence.
Of course,
how can you say that Jews are ruling the world? That is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, is it not?
If you refuse to see evidence,
what is
then
your evidence?
I can help you.
What is your evidence for the fact that Jews are, quote, ruling the world?
Jews are not too many. There are not very many Jews in this world. By themselves, they cannot rule this world. But they can influence countries to do the work for them. And America is very much under Jewish influence. That is why it supports Israel, whether Israel is doing the right thing or not, whether it commits crimes or not. Israel does all kinds of horrible things.
Okay, but your very reference to the Jews, many would say, is anti-Semitic. We'll have to agree to disagree on this.
As you can see, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad does not mince his words when it comes to talking about his favourite country called Israel. Recently, he returned from the UK and the United States, smiling very happily. It looked like he was the proverbial pussycat that had swallowed the canary. And he had this to say.
Yaitu selain daripada membawa ucapan di United Nations, kita juga mengadakan pertemuan-pertemuan dengan ramai pelabur-pelabur dan media Amerika untuk menjelaskan dasar-dasar parti Pakatan Harapan yang sekarang ini sudah jadi kerajaan bagi Malaysia. Nampaknya mereka puas hati dengan penjelasan-penjelasan yang dibuat dan ramai yang berjanji mereka akan datang ke Malaysia untuk melabur di Malaysia. Saya menyebutkan apa yang diutamakan oleh kerajaan Pakatan Harapan ialah untuk mengadakan seberapa banyak peluang pekerjaan bagi rakyat Malaysia di semua peringkat. Dan ini juga mereka telah membuat pengakuan bahawa mereka akan adakan perusahaan-perusahaan yang memerlukan pegawai-pegawai yang terlatih, engineer dan pekerja-pekerja lain yang dikehendaki supaya mereka dapat mengeluarkan barangan-barangan yang canggih, yang bernilai tinggi. Oleh itu saya merayu kepada semua kita, rakyat Malaysia, membuat persediaan dan jangan hampakan mereka yang akan datang untuk menolong negara kita dengan melabur di Malaysia. Kita akan bekerja keras dan tertib dan kita akan keluarkan barangan yang berkualiti untuk menunjuk kepada dunia bahawa Malaysia sudah dipulihkan dan kita akan kembali memajukan ke arah menjadi sekali lagi harimau Asia.
As you can see from his statements, Malaysia is destined for something big, something other than being a geostrategic sweet spot, being the Straits of Malacca, a very important control point between two basically Muslim countries, where all the shipping traffic goes as it travels on upwards up to Shanghai and Beijing. Hi Internet friends, it is the 11th of May 2018. This is Brendan O'Connell in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, one day post-election with the new Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Very interesting times in Malaysia, a key component in the One Belt, One Road project. I'll leave it at that. But good luck to Malaysia. It's a great country. It has its problems like everywhere else, but it's got a very pivotal role right now, particularly with its close relationship with the Gulf states and Saudi Arabia, which is very close, and its, again, key role in the Belt and Road Initiative with China. As you can imagine, Malaysia is a major pivot point, particularly with the Straits of Malacca, which run directly through up into Singapore, Hong Kong and up into China. So you can imagine how important Malaysia is for the future. And it's got a bright future as a very smart country, a very modern, very well run. Generally, it's got a bright future in the long run. Moving right along, let's talk about... If you notice the words, Tun is saying, or Dr. Mahathir, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, is saying, don't mess this up, Malaysia. And he's also saying we need highly qualified engineers and various other highly qualified professions. Look, he's not talking about engineers to build buildings. As you can see from behind me and where we're standing now, Malaysians are perfectly capable of building big buildings, building roads, bridges and infrastructure and ports. They can already do that. So what are they talking about? Malaysia is already a place where there's a lot of assembly of technical components. They already get Intel CPUs from Israel. Of course, they strip the Made in Israel tags off before they come in, as they do in Saudi, and they assemble components. But now we're seeing with China, as you've seen with China lately, all the hoo-ha about their spying and now their hardware chips. They're putting tiny little chips in backdoors in componentry, including motherboards and other such things.
Jordan, what exactly have we found out?
Hi, yeah, the basic gist of this story is that in 2014 and 2015, according to our reporting, a unit of China's People's Liberation Army implanted malicious microchips on computer servers bound for U.S. companies. Now, those computer servers wound up in very targeted, very large companies, including Apple and Amazon. And what these malicious chips did was compromise the software on these hardware devices at the kind of level that you can't detect. It's in many ways the ultimate silent attack. And this was a very major discovery for these companies and for U.S. intelligence services.
I mean, we've been talking about this for years. It's well known. But for whatever reason, the Council on Foreign Relations isn't happy with China anymore, and they've decided to go after China. Maybe China stepped out of line and got a bit too big for its britches. We don't know the exact story. Is it just the Bilderberger Group creating a Cold War 2.0? We don't know. But whatever's going on, China appears to be on the outer. What could be bad for China could be very good for Malaysia. 90% of all PC products are actually manufactured in China. It appears to be that now Malaysia may well become a technical hub for Asia along with South Korea. It could just be that Tun is smiling so happily because he knows some very big things are coming. And in my dreams, that includes the Israel Intel design and fabrication factory. God willing, with China on the outer and Israel so close with China. It could be. It's just a logical step. that Israel must be in the news very shortly. Already the BBC did a report. But it must be noted that Israel is completely in bed with China. Completely. And Russia and Iran, building, of course, the Belt and Road Initiative. Maybe they've all taken one step too far for their handlers, all of them unstable assets. If so, could we see the Intel design and fabrication factory move to Malaysia? Wouldn't that be great? Great for Malaysia, great for business, and to hell with Israel. Look, this is Brendan O'Connell, the Bell Tower Boy, coming to you live from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. There's a lot to talk about, and I'll be doing some follow-up videos very soon. Welcome back to my cameraman, Yannick. Hopefully we can do a few more little shows together. Ciao for now, jumpa lagi, jumpa nanti. Talk soon. And cut. Look everyone, the donations are really flooding in. I got a new Bentley. Actually, no, it's a Rolls Royce. Come and have a look. Yeah, the Saudi Prince and the Muslim Brotherhood have finally paid me what I'm worth with my Rolls Royce. Now, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Russia and China are working hand in hand, hand in glove with Israel. And they ignore it. Hundreds of articles. Thank you. Even God's pissed off. Inshallah, even God's pissed off about it. Alright, we're sick to death of Israel. You actually hung on through the little end credit. Wait a minute, cue music. You hung on through the end credits all the way through till you viewed this. That's sad. No boyfriend, no girlfriend, no life, no Netflix. Dear God, that's bad. I forgot to do something. Donations. Thank you to the few who donated. I appreciate it. I've got a lot to say. Some big things have happened, and I shall return with a proper video and yeah, some really good things. You'll understand why I've had to take some time off. Speak soon.